When planning a UniFi deployment, whether it's for something commercial or something residential, UniFi Design Center tends to become your best friend in terms of getting everything right, from AP placements to the devices you need and how you're going to get everything connected. We're going to run through Design Center from start to finish and how you get something planned and deployed. So let's jump straight in. So the first thing you want to do is go to design.ui.com. First thing you want to do is click create new project and give it a name. So we'll just call this one YouTube demo for now. You can then choose the country you're in. So if you're in a different country, you can choose that, and whatever this is that you're going to be deploying. So is it an office, home, stadium, hotel, school, or other? So this is going to be actually an office space that we're going to be deploying to. So we'll click create, and let me quickly run you through the left-hand side so you know what everything is. So at the top, we have Ask UniFi Assistant. So this is UniFi GPT, which you can type in any questions if you're not sure about what you're doing or deploying. You can then build your UniFi system, so you can start adding your devices here straight up, but we'll come to that in a few moments. You can have the floor plans. Again, we'll get this imported again. We have your topology. So as you start building out your devices, you start seeing the topology set up here, or your port mapping, so you can choose what ports you want things connecting to. And that becomes a little bit important as we look at how to provision the site and getting everything set up. We then have a share button where you can share everything with the customer or print something off for yourself or for the client, whatever you need. And then you can actually purchase this straight from Design Center. So if everything is in stock, you can go add it to your cart and away you go. And just to the left hand side of me, you've got an assistance button, and you also have a feedback button. So if something's not quite working or not quite doing what you want it to do, there's some feedback button right there. So let's start with importing your design. So you can create 3D plans using the Portal app and import it from here if that's what you want to do. So you can go around, scan everything, and it'll bring it in, or you can go and choose something. So I just have a demo one. We'll click on the office floor plan, and this imports your site for you. So we'll see this load up, and it just takes a few seconds. The first thing you're going to want to do is set your scale. So we can set scale at the top just here, and we'll go from one side to the other. And for this example, we're just going to say it's 40 meters, for example. You can do that in feet if that's what you work with. So entirely up to you how you wish to do that. Once you've set your scale, the first thing you're going to want to do is start drawing your walls. So you have a whole bunch of options down here. So we have select, we have pan, we have draw walls, draw cables, client experience, which is something we'll talk about in a second. Aligning your floor plan. So if you have multiple floors, again, we'll cover that shortly. And then placing your devices. On the left, you have zoom in to fit, zoom in, zoom out, and then you have some settings on here that you can choose, and then you have the 3D model. So if you want to look at how it looks in the 3D version, it doesn't really make much sense at the moment because there's no walls there, but let's start by drawing some walls. So we definitely want to go around the outside. It's going to be concrete. Now you can choose to draw an individual line like this and then click that there, or if you don't want to do something like that, you can remove that line, go back to draw walls, and then you can actually choose a room. Now with the room, it just does all four corners for you. So you can just do something like this, and there we go. That's then created that inside for you. And then how you can create some walls within. So let's say we have some drywall in. We're going to build that along here, for example, and then we're going to build some along here and along here. I'm not going to draw this whole thing out because I've already done this. I'm just giving you a rough example. And if you had, say, for example, some glass that we want to put in, so there's a nice glass wall here. In terms of the doors, we have some nice glass doors going into each of these. So we'll go here, 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 and here. And this will all make sense in just a second. So when you actually get done with this part and you go to the 3D version, you can see this how it all starts coming together. So you can see the doors, you can see the glass, you can see how it all comes together. So I created one earlier called test, and we can click on here and you can see I've created all the walls and ceilings and everything, and we have everything. We have the doors. Yes, it is very boxy in terms of the way I've set it up, but it's just a test scenario. It's not something that's real life. So I don't need to be too concerned about that at this point. Now, in terms of setting the floor height, which I didn't show you, you can click on here and click manage floor, and you can have the floors. And if you have multiple floors, you can click duplicate. If it's the same, or if you have a different floor plan, you can upload a different floor plan. It's up to you. We can go floor 2, and you can do the attenuation if you know what that is, and obviously what the ceiling height is. So now we have 2 different floors. So if I bring you back down to here, we can see we have aligned floors now, and what that does, it brings this up. You can see there's another picture in the background to align it up, so we can take it just to exactly where we need it, and then we can align it. So obviously, depending on how your floors are, sometimes you may have more or less. Some might be overhanging, some might not be. So you can scale it to make sure that they are aligned. And that comes critical when we start looking at Wi-Fi signal going through multiple floors and what happens with the signal dropping down to a floor below or a floor above. So for now, the second floor is not really needed for us. So I'm actually going to remove this for the time being because we're going to focus on floor 1. So if we go back here now, we can start placing our devices. So depending on what you want setting up, initially, we'll have a look at the Wi-Fi. Now you can play around with each of these to see what gives you the best. Let's say we have an outdoor area, for example, and we have the U7 Pro outdoor, and I'm going to place that here, and I'm going to place that here. Now, this just popped up, which is the connection optimizer, and it's basically saying you don't have anything to plug this into at the moment. So, which is fine. We can always add that at a later point, but I'm just going to click the X for now just to continue this part of the demo. And when you click on it, you can choose to place it whichever way you want. So actually we have a courtyard area behind this side. So we can pop that out here, and then that shows you the Wi-Fi signal out there. Just so we don't keep getting the pop-up for the connection optimizer, what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to place a cloud gateway. I'm going to put in Dream Machine Pro Max. I'm going to use this room here, for example. I'm also going to put in a high capacity aggregation switch. I'm going to pop that there. And I'm also going to put in a couple of Pro XGs. So I'm going to put in a couple of 48 port PoEs. So there we go. Those are added in there just so I don't keep getting that pop-up. So we have the Wi-Fi access point set up here. We'll ignore the cabling for now. We will come back to all of this. So there we go. Those are now set up there. So we'll leave them there for the time being just so we don't get those pop-ups. And then we're going to place some more Wi-Fi access points. For example, let's pick, I don't know, a U7 Pro XG, for example. Let's pop that just on this side of the wall. So let's pop that in this corner here. Now, you'll see that it's running some cables for now, but ignore the cables for the time being. We will come to those a little bit later. So we have one here. We have another U7 Pro XG on this side, for example. Pop that along there. We have another one along this side, maybe somewhere here, and we'll place another one maybe somewhere here. Now, you can see this isn't a masterclass in Wi-Fi placement and access points, etc., etc. This is just giving you an understanding as to what's going on to show you what's happening within Design Center. So you can see where we have the green is a relatively good strength in terms of signal. So you can see down here, it shows you what each of the signal strengths are in terms of 2.4, 5, and 6 gigahertz. And then you have the option to choose primary coverage, secondary coverage, or tertiary coverage. Probably a little bit out of scope for this one, but we have a primary and secondary and tertiary coverage. The primary is obviously the main AP. Secondary coverage is if one of the APs nearby fails. So if that primary AP fails, what's the coverage like in those areas? What's going to happen? Like I said, not something that we're really going to deep dive into this video, but just so you understand what those concepts are. Okay, so we have our Wi-Fi access points turned up, and we can turn those off. We don't have to keep the green on all the time, so we can use this toggle button at the top. Then we can go down to the bottom and click on client experience. And what this actually does is this gives you a really good understanding as to what's going on in your network. So you can say we have the U7 Pro Wall XGs, which is what we have set up. We're using the 5 gigahertz band, let's just say 40 megahertz bandwidth, 40 megahertz width. If you're using MLO, what channel, what device you're using, let's just say we're using a Wi-Fi 7 device. And as you start moving around the office, you can see how your AP is going to roam between them. So getting the most out of it, you can see how this is going to perform. And obviously when we go outside, we have this part over here. And then when we come back into the office, for example, we're then greeted with something like this. So this gives you some sort of indication also in terms of what sort of speed you're expected to get in the real world. Now you do have a channel usage at the top here. So depending on how much level of interference you have on that channel, you can populate this, and obviously then it will give you more of an understanding. So it really depends on how deeper you want to dive into Wi-Fi, because this is where you can become really technical in terms of your planning. So just to tidy it up a little bit, we can see we have a couple of unconnected devices. We have a wireless connection. We have a cable route. So I actually want to draw some areas of where we're going to be drawing the cable route. So we're going to have one along here. We're going to have one along here. We're going to run one along here, and this is where we're going to get it to meet. So at the moment, we have a cable route that actually is here, but that's not where we want the cable route going. So for me to be able to delete that existing cable route, I couldn't just move it around. I had to delete the access points and recreate them again. So that's what I quickly did. So you can see now we're running along those cable routes that we have set up here. So now it's not just running all the way across to point, it is running through a cable track that we have set up in the office. And it gives you a rough idea in terms of obviously the length of cables we're going to use. So if we click back to the draw cable, so we have the wired connections, which it's showing you, and it says drag or left click to manually connect device, escape or right click or shift to disable snapping. So you have those options within there. You have the wireless connections, which then highlights Wi-Fi devices. We have the cable routes, and we also have one thing called a tunnel. Now, if you have multiple floors and you have things running from upstairs to downstairs, then that's something that you would want to put in. So we would probably put in a cable tunnel just there, which is then going to a room upstairs, and then we run the cables that way accordingly. So we have our Wi-Fi access point set up. The other thing you'll probably notice is we have two unconnected devices. Now, this is a little bit further ahead, but I'm just going to take you across to Port Manager and show you what's happening here. So we can actually see down at the bottom, these two devices are not connected. So the high capacity aggregation switch, which we have the two Pro XGs connected into, but we don't have it connected to here. So the way to do that is you click connect, and it goes off and connects it to the Dream Machine Pro. So we can see we're connected straight there, which is perfectly fine. And then same with the U7 Pro Outdoor, then goes off and gets connected also as well. So now if we go back to our drawing again and we click on cables, you'll see that's disappeared now and we have this. The other thing that I mentioned at the start around the connection optimizer, if you want to turn that off, you can turn it off right here and then you don't need to worry too much about it. But it's good practice to keep it on, because if there's something that you're popping in, and I'm going to show you another example in just a second, it's good to have that there to make sure you haven't missed something. So we're going to then go and now place some CCTV cameras. So let's grab a couple of cameras. We're going to put in some AI 360s. We're going to put one here, one here, one here, for example, and it's already running the routes in for us. We're also going to add in a couple of, just going to pick some AI pros for now. We're going to pop one down in this hallway. We're going to pop one down in this hallway. We're going to put one in this room, and we're going to put one in this room. And it shows you, again, it does the cable track for you, right? And when you click on them, you have the option to play around with it. So you can move it this side a little bit, click on it, and then you can play around and move it, adjust it as you see fit, what you need for your room coverage. We'll pop that in that corner just there. Same again with this one. Same again with this room. You'll see we have the dot up here. Click on this. We'll move it around, make sure we get it in the right position that we need. So that's the cameras and all of that set up. And also it tells you on this side, so where you're having it mounted, the tilt angle, the port that it's going into. So all that granular information that you would normally have to go through and think about as you're getting it set up, it just automatically gets done for you. The last thing I'm going to place is some door access on here. So we have some door access. So we have our main entrance just here. And if I pop that in, it's going to say, hold on a second, you don't have anything to connect this into. So we can use a door hub or a gate hub, but for now I'm just going to stick the enterprise hub in for now, and it's going to say, okay, well, where do you want to put that? Well, we want to put that in here. For some reason the cable is going around this way, and that's just because of the way the cable snaps, but we can move that, and that's now moved across this way. So if we move that, you'll see the little cable just connecting between them. So there we go, we have our office set up. So this is everything we're going to need to get going. We have our Wi-Fi set up, we have our camera set up, and also we have our door access set up. The last thing you may want to think about putting into the office is your RJ45 sockets. If it's something that you're going to be putting in, maybe you might want to do that. So we'll have twin sockets, so you can choose Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7, Cat 6A we'll probably do for the time being. So we're going to have two along here, we're going to have one along here, one along here, one along here. We'll have some here, we'll have one in here, we'll have one in here. So again, it starts giving you an understanding as to how many drops you're going to need, where you're going to need them. There you go. So we have our RJ45 sockets set up now as well within the room. So we have all of our network connectivity that we need. And then the last thing you're going to want to choose is the rack. So we go in here, we'll go with a 12U rack. We'll pop that in here. There we go. So we'll pop that in. So when we go and look at this right here, we have build your UniFi system in minutes. 4 devices are currently set outside the rack. So we added the 12U rack. The interesting bit I find within here, and feel free to correct me in the comments down below, I might be missing something here, is there's no actual way to add these devices in. So if I go to add a device to a cloud gateway, for example, if I try to add it, it's adding a brand new one, not the one that I already have. So that bit is a little bit frustrating. So maybe learn from my mistakes. Make sure you add your rack in first before you add the devices in. Otherwise, you may not be able to populate them back in. So I'm just going to get this populated and we'll be back in a second. So there we go, I've added them back in, and you can design your full rack how you want that set up. So I have the Dream Machine Pro Max, the high capacity, the 48 port, and the bunch of keystone panels as well. So if we go back to the floor plan now, you'll see that we have a 12U rack that's populated up here, and we can just drag that down here. And now all your devices are going to get connected to this. So now if we were to add in a new device, so let's put in an AI dome, for example. Let's say we want to put this in the hallway, populate that here. You can see the cable track has already run for that, but because none of these are connected, none of them are going to do that. Now, this is a good way to learn along, because you can see everything along here. We have 29 unconnected devices. So we'll just go connect all. And there we go. They are all now connected and set up here. So if we go back to our floor plan, there we go. They're all connected. So that's now starting to come together. We go to the 3D model for those of you that want to know what it looks like, and you can see the devices there. You can see the Reader Pro. Obviously the Reader Pro is not going to be that high, but we can move that down on the wall where that's going to be next to the door. And yeah, I think this is starting to take shape now in terms of what this is going to look like. So you can see the topology here now, and we can start to see what this kind of looks like. We have all the devices connected here. Now, obviously we can see at this point, everything is connected to a single switch, and I have 2 switches. So if you wanted to change things around, you can go to the port manager you again. You can add more devices as you see fit. You can configure your internet settings up here so you can get that all set up and ready. Again, this is going to be really good for when you're provisioning your site. So all your details are there, and then all you need to do is just go and deploy it. If you wanted to change a device, for example, you can click on it, you'll see what it is, and you can see what it's connected to. Say we want to connect it to the other one, and away that goes. And if it's not the right port and you want to go to the 10 gig port, for example, you can just click on here and move it to that port. It's that easy to do. The only thing I found that is not very easy to do is, or I haven't found a way to do it, and again, correct me down in the comments, is ticking multiple devices. So if I wanted to move half of these across down below, I would have to do them individually. I don't think there is a way that I can do it automatically. So we'd have to go here, move that down, click here. So if I click on this one, for example, we'd move it to D. If I click on this one, so you can see they're starting to move across in pairs. So yeah, you can get this set up and balanced up however you wish. It tells you all your PoE budgets up there, what's being used, what's not being used, so you can see how far you are away from your capacity. So once we've got all our port configurations set up, we can then move to share. And now this, we can give it a name, a location, anything specifically you want to share, or multiple floors. It shows you how everything's set up. It shows you a full kit list, and then it shows you everything within here. So we can go to cameras, we can go to off, so you can choose and play around with this. You also have the topologies, so you can see what that looks like. We also have the port mappings as well, and how that's configured. Now you can choose to just copy this link and send it off to someone. So I'm just going to open this up in a private browsing window, and whoever accesses this website, you can see I'm not logged into anything. This is what they are going to see. So they're going to see where it's placed, and they do also have the option to choose, and they can have the option to select through that. They can scroll in and out of here and play around with this, and they also have the port mappings out on here as well. So it shows you all the setup on this side. That's quite easy and handy to share if that's what you want to do. And then we have the shopping cart. So we can literally click this button and click checkout. Now you can see automatically it's added in your indoor cable that you need. It's automatically added in some power leads and some DAC cables that we're going to need to get connected. There's one thing I did not point out as I was doing this, and that's the type of cabling. So when you click on the device itself, you can actually change the type of cable. So you can say, okay, I want a CMR cable, I want a CMP cable, or I actually have an existing cable there, so I don't need this. So there may be a bunch of run that you already have an existing cable for, and you don't need to worry about that. Maybe the RJ45 sockets have already been put in, so you don't need that much cable. So all in all, that pretty much sums up everything we have for our drawing. And the last thing you can do is click provision site at the top. And what that does is it shares the installation guide and UniFi setup link with your installers to deploy this project. So it sends it automatically to them. And this is the email that comes when you get this sent to you. So it says UniFi Design Center. It sends from design.ui.com. It says share the setup with the following UniFi project with you. Test. Tap to launch on your mobile device and open the UniFi app to apply the provided config. So it does everything for you straight away. Obviously, you need to do the physical connections. The mobile app is not going to be able to do the physical connections for you, or you can just click on the installation guide and it will take you to the installation guide that we saw earlier. So that pretty much wraps up everything that you need to know about UniFi Design Center. I hope you found this video useful. If there's something I missed out or something you want to see in further detail, let me know down in the comments below. For now, this is Inside Wire, and I'll see you in the next one.